Good morning, guys. We are going to get started this week with learning how to make a 3-rose bud vase arrangement. And so here you can see this is going to be the completed product. I'm going to go through our materials really quick. So we have a bud vase here already filled with water. We've got some floral food that's going to be in your kit that you're going to add to your vase before you get started. You have your 3 red roses that you will use. You will have 3 pieces of leather leaf, and then you will have a stem of wax flower that you're going to use for filler. And then you should have some bunch cutters from your Christmas arrangement. And if you don't have any bunch cutters, then you can use some scissors just from around the house to cut your stems. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to, like I said, add the floral food first. A floral preservative is important. It lengthens the life of your arrangement, and that's extremely important during your Valentine's Day time. We're going to go ahead and add that in. Then what we're going to get started with is on your bud vase, you're going to notice on this example of how it staggers down. And so we want to get that length. So the easiest way to do that is to pull your vase to the edge of the counter that you're working on, and then take your roses, and you basically just want to have the length of the rose in between each one. So you can kind of hold them, stagger them like this, and then hold them at the edge of the counter. And so my extra stems, you can see they're going down the counter, and then I'll be able to cut off the extra that I don't need. And so I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to cut these, and then you can kind of set them in your vase, and you're going to be able to kind of determine, okay, is that good? Do I need to cut a little bit more off? And you can adjust those. That's the good thing about a vase. So I feel like my tall one is a little too tall. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and switch to your leather leaf. So on your leather leaf, you're going to notice if you rub your hands down the stems, there's some debris that's on it. Okay, and we don't want to get debris in our water and have it floating around. So it's very important to kind of clean the stems. You can get a wet paper towel and wipe them off. That works best. Or you can just take your hand and kind of clean them several times. If you have any broken stems like this one, you want to make sure that you go ahead and snip that off. You don't want that in your arrangement. Okay, so I think these are pretty clean now. So what you like to do is you want to start with your tallest fullest piece. And you just want to kind of cluster them. You can see by this example how they're kind of clustered behind the arrangement. And so this one kind of has this natural arch. And so I'm going to tuck him in right here, kind of let him mirror that flower. This one goes pretty straight up and down, so I'm going to use him in the middle with this big rose. And so what I did there, you can see I pulled it back out because it was higher than the rose, because you can see in this example how that rose, it doesn't have anything distracting from its natural beauty. It's just the rose sitting there with itself. So you kind of want to get your greenery right there on the rim of your vase. And so it's always better just to take a little bit off at a time when you're trying to learn how to do this versus just taking one big snip off of it and then you having too much. So this piece right here, I don't like this, and so I'm going to kind of cut that one off. That way I can trim my piece up a little shorter. And you can kind of see I'm just kind of working around this rose, trying to nestle it in there. This one I want it a little bit shorter. Tuck it in right here. Okay, so we've got our greenery added. I'm going to back it up so you can kind of see it. So we've just got kind of this nice zigzag of roses. This one kind of zigzags this way, this one's zigzagging that way. Either way it works. So on the wax flower, I'm going to kind of hold it up here. You can see it's got all these stems. You don't want any foliage below the water line. So you're going to come in here and kind of pull those off. Okay, so we've got this one nice bunch right here. We're going to leave it all intact. Okay, but now you can see I've got a nice clean stem with a bunch of wax flower at the top. Okay, so if I leave my stem really tall, it's going to be a little too tall. So I'm going to trim it up. And then I'm just going to you can do filler multiple ways, but this is a filler flower, so you don't want to take away from your roses. Okay. And so I'm just going to kind of add it in right there just to give another nice little accent. Okay. And then if you feel like your roses are kind of leaning a little funny, now that you've got some stems in there, you can kind of reinsert them, and all that leather leaf and everything will kind of help hold them up and keep them in place. So that is a nice little bud vase arrangement, something really good just to give somebody for Valentine's Day. And we are actually selling these here at Eaton for $15 as well. So, but being in the floral class, you get to make a bud vase arrangement. I hope you enjoy it and hope you have a happy Valentine's Day.